So Dennis and Daniel, you're formerly part of well-known Uganda group, the Twins. How did you guys meet Craig and decide to form the Ganda Boys?
Wow. How did we come to meet Craig? This great man
The
here.
Twins and Craig.
Yeah, we, to be honest with you, we've worked very hard through the years, and we've worked pretty hard through the different stages of the industry, and we finally met Craig at a BBC series called Moses Jones. We met at the BBC actually.
True that.
And the way we got in there is a very big story in itself. But when we got there, we were told by the then director of the series, that we have got you such a wonderful man that you're going to record this with, and if you're really good, you never know what happens.
Was that
after
Michael
this.
Offer? Or?
Yes, Michael Offer and
Cameron.
Cameron Roach.
Cameron Roach. So he said, if you're really good, and you really have to be good, I tell you, he might just about want to, but he's worked with great people like Cliff Richards. He has arranged for Elton John. So
Massive Attack.
maybe he will, if you match the standard. So that's how we met Craig, and as you see right now, we got him in our pockets. So the job was done.
It's a conquer. Yeah.
So we all know you've created a well-established charity, the Ganda Foundation. What do you feel your biggest achievements are up to date, and how do you feel being up there with such charities as Live Aid and Band Aid?
Yeah, so what we've achieved so far with the Ganda Foundation really is to a couple different projects that are close to our hearts. One is Kuolo Hospital, which is near a black spot in Uganda. The other is with the Children's Cancer Institute in Kampala, and really helping to save a boy's life. He had a couple of weeks to live at that time, and through our intervention has all of a sudden turned around, completely changed. It's really been wonderful to see. And we are in admiration of the bigger charities. Basically, we aspire to do a lot of things, and we're happy with the achievements we have. So that's the situation at the moment. Anything you can add to that?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of achievement, I'm glad to note that Dennis is the boy that suffered from lymphoma cancer. He had a huge swelling on the side of his cheek. And literally when one of our main supporters, Dr. Sangita, visited Uganda, this boy was on his deathbed. But we're happy today to see Dennis running around. And just like Craig hinted, it is the help getting down to the people that need it with a less administration and the like. And he's going back to school. We have another AIDS victim called Tina, who had the backbone protruding out of her back as a condition brought about by tuberculosis, and she was bedridden when we found her. Through treatment and support, she's up and running. She's doing her A-levels as we speak right now. Kawolo Hospital, we've conducted seminars. We get expatriates from here who go to the ground and give seminars, give knowledge. It's another thing giving money, but it's another thing giving knowledge and updating people on how to run, in terms of sustainability. So yes, we've achieved not that much, but we just thrive to achieve more day by day, and some of these projects are going on well.
When you talk about Tina, it's the whole family. It's a family of 5 that are all HIV positive, and that's a hard thing. Tina was the worst of the 5. So then the whole family, we're trying to make sure that they can be treated. So
getting their treatment and boosting the business that feeds the family and maintains them, because they are on ARVs and they're very strong drugs. But we've built a little vending stall, for the lady who vends vegetables and chickens and sells them. So now they can get some money to pay for Tina's school fees. So it's about sustainability. You set a family off to manage themselves, and get themselves out of that deep poverty that helps them health-wise as well.
And the right kind of help will empower those people rather than make them dependent. I think that's important.
Your first album, War of Love, has been very successful. It caresses and weaves us through 12 beautifully created tracks. Do you feel you've achieved the same with your new album, Africa?
Craig should go there. He's the
Okay.
technical man.
No, the first album, War of Love, was created within the whole momentum that was created after Moses Jones. And when we met Moses Jones, 4 of those tracks had been performed on the set of the BBC for Moses Jones. So we did the first album within 6 months, pretty much. The new album, Africa, has been a year and a half, almost 2 years in the making. And we've really gone deep into this. You know, we've crafted it, really what we want to say. What do we want to do with the Ganda Boys? And I feel that we've achieved it. I don't know how to describe it. It's a wonderful feeling. It really is. I felt that we looked beyond the boundaries of what we were creating before into what's possible with this thing, like big global vision, international vision. We touched on some of the similar themes, but we've expanded it too. And I think we're riding on a wave of international events that are very significant. And I think we've captured in a couple of these tracks really what's happening in the world now.
No, 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 no. Don't fight, please. Don't fight in the name of love. No, 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 no. Don't fight, Don't fight in the name of love.
So I feel ecstatic about the album, personally.
Maybe I should say something about the strings on this album. Like, we have about 3 tracks on that. I think it's Ginger Road, Kachiko, which means in the meeting. It's a Luganda word. And Le Monde, the sweetest plantation.
Yeah.
All right. 3, and we have another one?
Body of Africa.
Body of Africa. So there's a lot. The string section that was done in Lithuania. You know what I mean? He had to fly all the way out there to get the strings done. So I should let everybody know, we mean business.
Sure.
It's serious business.
Beautifully done.
Yeah. And forgotten people too.
You have forgotten people.
So we got the whole string thing. It's serious.
Yeah, the fusion is beautiful.
Yeah.
And your songs contain strong messages of separation and struggle. Did immigrating to the UK in 2003 influence your music at all, and why?
Oh yes, it surely has. Most of the stories told in these songs are real, and they've been experienced. We cover stories from working in the UK. As an immigrant, coming to this country is not easy, and we all immigrant.
Tell
And to make matters worse, as an African ethnic minority, going through the ranks and being able to operate at this level that we're operating right now is not something easy. If you realize there's lots of challenges, immigration challenges, work challenges, and then I won't hide it, but the skin challenge. You know, are you accepted in certain areas? Even up to now, we're struggling to establish a market where we say we also have a voice, we also have a talent. It's kind people like Craig that see through you and say, you know what? Actually, together we can do something very great.
He's a Ganda boy, by the way. Don't
he's
play
our
around.
brother from another mother. So the barrier is broken in that regard. But War Child, as a track on the album, I mean, in Uganda, there were war children called kadogos. We played around with them, and some of the toys we used were hand grenades, and all of these. And many of them did not go to school. They had been in the war, that brought the government on. And they wanted to be like any other child. you know. Most of them had been killing, and we used to sit down and they used to talk to us about the experience. To a certain point, we were inspired to probably join the army at a very early age, if you understand. But you know, eventually you would see on the other side that there was a better life other than killing and going to the bushes and fighting. So these tracks all tell these stories as they are. Craig interprets these stories with a great understanding and depth of music,
Oh, yes,
you
sir.
know, and puts it together and enables us to tell these stories as raw as they are. So yeah, there's many stories in there.
Craig, could you tell us a bit about your visit to rural Uganda in 2009 and how it's affected the new album?
Yes, in 2009 I went to Uganda for the first time, and I'd lived in Kenya for 2 years between 1971 and 73, and fell in love with East Africa. When I went back again after 36 years back to Kenya, I was very shocked at the situation in Nairobi. It was really overcrowded and infrastructure was falling apart. And I knew that I needed to go to Uganda because of the work we'd done with the Ganda Foundation. So the visit was very successful, kickstarting a couple of initiatives that we'd established. I loved Uganda, I really did. I remember that Winston Churchill called it the Pearl of Africa. And just there's a wonderful feeling of so much potential in Uganda. I feel that it's like one of the emerging potential countries in Africa. I just have this feeling. So my first visit really was as an introduction to the Ganda Foundation activities. This next visit will be very satisfying because we're getting massive radio play in Uganda of the tracks from the new album particularly. And Forgotten People is being played, Kachiko, Le Monde is being played, Africa are the title track from the new album. So I'll be going straight into Uganda, not only to check on our Ganda Foundation work, but also to do media interviews and be on the television. I'm going to do a producers workshop for the record producers who keep saying to us, how do you get that sound? How do you do it? Because the situation in Uganda, especially musically, is that they all copy each other stylistically. They need a good kick in the old rear end, you know. So I think this is going to be a fantastic opportunity to go and do that. So everything's pretty well scheduled. I'll be going in a week. Can't wait.